Hello and welcome to La Rosa Reads. Today I'm going to be reviewing perhaps the most highly anticipated memoir of 2021, Will by Will Smith. Let's talk books. You guys, this memoir is perfection. It is the best memoir I have ever read. And I've read a lot. In fact, memoirs and biographies and autobiographies, that was my thing, my genre for many years. Will Smith he is someone that I feel like I've grown up with. From the 1980s, and parents just don't understand, to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, to Independence Day, to Bad Boys. Can we just pause and say, Bad Boys, and that scene at the end? I never saw Will Smith the same way. But I digress. We've grown up with Will Smith. He is also the actor of my favorite movie of all time, The Pursuit of Happiness. So you feel like you know Will Smith, right? Because he's been around. You've enjoyed his source of entertainment, his gift of music, his gift of acting. But can I just say, his life story is his best kept secret. There was so much in this book that I did not know about Will Smith that actually helped me make sense of who he is, and quite frankly, to make sense of his success. His story and his journey to superstardom is just one that is so unique, so heartfelt, so steeped in joys and challenges and pain and successes and failures. It's just, it really is inspiring. And when I say that, I feel like that's not even the word that can adequately describe how his memoir, his life story makes me feel. There's so much about him that we don't know until we read this book. And that's kind of a part of his mystique, a part of what's worked for him, I think, is that you know enough, but you don't know too much, I just think that he and Jada have done such a great job of keeping their relationship and their private life just that, private. And just recently with the Red Table Talks, you kind of get a chance to get to know them on a more personal level than we've never really had a door to peep through their relationship. But that Red Table has definitely given us a little peep into what's going on with them on a personal level. But this book levels it up. It totally levels it up. There were things that I found to be really interesting about him that were intriguing and moving and touching in a deep way. So a fun fact, I didn't realize that his mother is from Pittsburgh. And I live in Pittsburgh. I have been in Pittsburgh for over 17 years now. And so I was really interested and intrigued and excited to hear that he has roots here in Pittsburgh, because we know his Philly roots, but I wasn't familiar with his Pittsburgh roots. Another thing about this book that really has tugged at my heartstrings is his voice. So I listened to the audiobook, and it's rare that I buy a hard copy and an audiobook. You have to be a special individual for me to do both. And I typically I've only done both for memoirs. And his memoir, I had to have both. So first of all, I had to hear this in Will Smith's voice. I had to hear Will Smith tell his story. Then, you guys, this hard copy, this cover is just It's perfection. It's sheer perfection. This is one of those covers that for me will go down as one of my all-time favorite covers. It's so beautiful for so many reasons. And so I was drawn to it. I wanted to have it. And I thought to myself, when buying both the hard copy and the audiobook, that I was going to read along and follow along while listening to his voice. But you guys, in true Will Smith fashion, I was spellbound. I was totally enamored by his voice, the way he articulates and expresses life events, that I couldn't do anything else. You know, I thought I was going to be able to follow along or walk around the house and do chores, do the dishes, do the laundry. I literally found myself just laying on my bed with the audiobook playing and like doing nothing but just like listening to his voice. I just could not do anything else. It was so captivating, so raw. This is a very raw, real memoir. You're not getting the warm and fuzzy. If you're looking for the warm and fuzzy Will Smith, you're not going to get it here. And I'm thinking that if you're into memoirs and you're picking up a memoir, you're wanting the raw, the real, the rough around the edges, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. And so can I just tell you, this book delivers in every single way. Okay. It gives you all of that. And I heard another person on book 2 share that she felt like this book was more of an autobiography, that it wasn't so much a memoir, that you're not really hearing a lot about what was going on behind the scenes in his, I don't want to say at his peak, because I feel like he's still there, but what was going on with him after fame, that it was more about, well, I don't want to say fame, superstardom, when he was Independence Day and Men in Black and all that, from the pinnacle of success, from that moment on, someone had expressed that they felt like they weren't really hearing all the goings on and that it wasn't really sharing that much about what was going on behind the scenes. But you guys, I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to hear that. I do think, I kind of respectfully disagree with that. I do feel like he does dive into some personal lived experiences that were going on simultaneously with the rise of his acting career. But at the same time, yes, this book absolutely really reveals a lot of what happened in his childhood, on his rise to fame. It's really about that journey that got him to where we have come to see him and admire him from today. And I actually appreciate that, and that's what I want to know. I am really mesmerized by successful people. I want to know, who were you before? What brought you to this place? What was different about your journey that set you up for the moment of great success? There's countless millions of aspiring rappers, aspiring actors, aspiring everything that Will Smith is, that wants a successful marriage, whatever that means. If you know the definition of a successful marriage, I would be curious and interested in hearing what it is. We all have different definitions, I think. That's safe to say. I'm really, really, really impressed with Will Smith's candidness, his realness. I can't say I'm surprised if you see him in interviews, and particularly at the Red Table with Jada. We have been seeing layers of him that were behind the scenes that we didn't really see. We were mainly seeing Will Smith, the personality, the actor. And I feel like in these later years, he's really letting us into Will Smith, the human being, Will Smith, the father, Will Smith, the husband, Will Smith, the son, Will Smith, the brother. And so you get that. I mean, this book does not disappoint. And I think that whether you are a Will Smith fan or you are an admirer of his work, even if you aren't even curious about him, you need to pick up this book because it's full of life lessons. And the chapters are set up in a way that are just so impactful, that really bring home the lesson in each chapter. So they're titled by one word. So they have one word titles each chapter, and there are 21 chapters to be exact. And so I'm just going to read off a handful. Fear, fantasy, performance, power, hope, ignorance, adventure, pain, destruction, alchemy, adaptation, desire, devotion, boom, inferno. It's just brilliantly done. And there are so many jewels of wisdom sprinkled throughout this book. I also feel like there are universal messages, there are universal aspects of his life that really can resonate with anyone, particularly probably if you identify as Black. You know, there's some of those cultural references of, you know, having that wonderful down home grandma that his grandmother he refers to as maternal or paternal, I believe, paternal grandmother as Gigi. I hope I got that right, but it is his grandmother, Gigi. I love Gigi. I felt like Gigi was my mama. I just kept hearing him describing her and thinking, oh my gosh, that's not Gigi. That's mama. That's my grandmother. And so I just found that to be absolutely delightful. I absolutely appreciate and value how he authentically and very rawly, if there's a word like that, very truthfully and authentically shares his relationships, his fragile, complicated relationships with his parents. And I find that Will seems to have grabbed on to some of those very powerful, special qualities of his parents that really help shape who he is. He really latched onto, with all of our imperfections, as we all have as parents and individuals, that's a part of the human experience. He really grabs these unique, special characteristics from both parents that really shape him into the person he is today, the person that he became and is constantly becoming. He's really, truly someone who has been profoundly shaped by every single experience that he's had in his life. There, you know, he does spill some tea. There's a little bit of, you know, some love, romance talks of, you know, first girlfriends and, you know, love and love making and, you know, I don't want to give too much. You probably have seen some things out there in the media. They're dropping little pieces of the memoir out there in the media, like if you Google search. I'm not going to do that to you because you need to get the book, okay? Like no magazine article, no short little tidbit is going to do this memoir justice. You need to just get this book yourself. But, Will, boo, like, he's got some good love stories. Let's just put it that way. So, you know, I am just here to give Will Smith's memoir, Will, 5 stars. If I could give it a 10 out of 5 stars, I would. You know what I'm saying? It's that good. I would give it all the stars and then some. 2 thumbs up. If I had a 3rd thumb, I would be putting that thumb up as well. And I think the reason why I love it so much is that he brings his full, most authentic self to the memoir. You know, it's just like Will Smith. You know, this is true Will Smith, on brand Will Smith. He's not going to halfway do a thing, okay? If Will Smith's going to do a memoir, he's going to do it to perfection. He's going to give you all of him, all of his story, all of his, you know, layers to who he is. He's not going to sidestep he's going to bring it, and he's going to bring it all. He's going to do this to the best of his ability. He's going to bring his best self to the work. And that's exactly what he did. I would not expect anything less from Will Smith. And so that's what you're going to get. I think that's one of the things that makes this book one of my all-time favorite reads, is that you're getting his full, most authentic self. And I don't always get that in memoirs. There's some memoirs that I'm like, you trying to run for president, or you just want us to think that you're like this and that, when you're really like that. Not with Will. You're going to get Will Smith in all his glory, in all of his screw-ups, in all of who he is. And I think that makes him endearing. I think that's why we love him. I think that's why I love the book. And I just walked away from this book wishing him the best that life has to offer. Like, may writing this book have been therapeutic and takes him to that next level of becoming who he is meant to be and to fulfill his destiny and live his best life. I walked away from this rooting for him and also loving myself a little bit more through all of my mess and messiness. It really gave me a gift of really valuing myself as well, and valuing the lessons that I've learned along the way and will continue to learn along life's journey. So I just can't say enough good things about Will and Will Smith and all things Will Smith. If he were to see this video, I would say, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us the gift of you and giving us the gift of telling your story. And I'm inspired to just lean in to the lessons, lean in to the love, lean into the pain, because all of it makes us who we are, and we are beautiful. So I wonder if you've read Will. If you are a Will Smith fan, all of that good stuff, please write in the comments. Tell me what you think about Will, or if you haven't gotten the book, what's wrong with you? No, if you haven't gotten the book, why not? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, share the video, ring that bell, all that good stuff. And yeah, enjoy this book. It's truly a gift. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.